is.
Good evening and welcome to The Reporters.
He's the mayor of Bigwater, Utah, and probably the only politician in America who openly admits to sleeping with 9 women.
I make a woman a master of her own body. And when she wants to use her mind, she makes an appointment.
This is a lifestyle invented by women who way long ago captured some poor man and made him do this.
They say they've seen the face of death and now have no fear of dying and welcome the day they can return there.
Total darkness. That was what it was like. And I began seeing a point, just a small point of light.
I know that there's a continuity of consciousness, but this is not all there is.
It's part of the life experience, and I'm going on. And then I was all gung-ho to go. I kept saying, oh, let's get this show on the road. I want to go.
Joey Torres had it made. A vicious left hook, a jaw of steel, and maybe a shot at the Olympics. Then he shot his manager.
School couldn't hold me, my family couldn't hold me, but the streets, they gave me everything I wanted.
But from behind bars, Joey has done more good for others than most people do in a lifetime of freedom.
Why look at Nancy Reagan on TV say no to drugs? Like she's done them. Kids laugh at that, but I don't think kids will laugh at Joey.
I just got back from the wilds of Utah, where I met an intriguing politician. His name is Alec Joseph, and he's the mayor of Bigwater. And while there, I found out an amazing fact. Every night he goes to bed with a different woman on his campaign staff, even though he has a beautiful 18-year-old wife. Sprawling across the Utah-Arizona border, Lake Powell stretches in an awesome, almost unreal majesty that remains unseen by most unfortunate mortals. Its shoreline zigzags for 1,960 miles, longer than the Pacific West Coast. Some, in a turn of the Ringling Brothers' phrase, say, it's the greatest earth on show. Others, more fervent, will tell you that it is where God rested on the 7th day before returning to heaven. But back here on Earth, not far from the banks of this phenomena, a mortal is celebrated in almost godlike fashion. His name is Alec Joseph, a former Marine, and more recently, the mayor of Bigwater, Utah.
He's a principle that we're trying to obtain, that we're trying to be, and he represents it more than anybody else I know.
Almost godlike.
Almost.
Her name is Dawn Joseph. She is married to Mayor Alec Joseph. She is an 18-year-old who could grace the pages of any glossy magazine. Instead, she chose to marry Alec Joseph.
What is Alec's secret?
Genius. I don't know where he gets it. He just has things going through his brain that are amazing. He lets you get glimpses of them once in a while, and you're astonished. That's probably why this works, because he's brilliant.
Ladies, if you were a girl as fresh and beautiful as Dawn, would you marry this guy?
I saw something I wanted to have, and it was granted.
Maybe you would. But would you marry him when you were 9 years old?
Well, I wanted to marry him, and I asked my father.
I told my father when I was 8 years old that I wanted to marry Alec. He talked to Alec. Alec says, wait, hold on a minute. Let's wait a while. My dad went back a year later, and Alec says, she still says the same thing. He says, yeah. He says, okay, I'll give her a marriage contract.
What you're looking at is the product of my experimenting on family life. So I set out to give to myself a large family, family stability, probably things that are really traditional, you know, stable, mommy, daddy, house, stay home, really American kind of stuff. And then I think what I did is just I went overboard.
So let's get it straight. She marries him when she is 9. But are you ready for this? This beautiful young woman is one of 9 wives. She shares his body in bed with 8 other women. They take turns, of course. Now, these women, they have borne him 19 children, many older than Dawn herself.
Tell me how you get 9 wives. One at a time. I got married, and I like marriage. I'm a family man. So I enjoyed being married, and so I got married again. And I enjoy that even more. And I've been married a few times since.
Mayor Alec Joseph has 9 wives, 19 children, and 2 children on the way. He is a polygamist, and Mayor Alec Joseph's morality does not come from any religion.
Well, morality comes from 2 places. You either have somebody dictating one to you, or you make up your own. So I've made up my own. I established a morality out of my values, my experience, then I keep it.
First there's a contract, and there's consummation and celebration. It doesn't matter which comes first, and after the contract.
So you were 9 years of age with a contract.
Mm-hmm.
How old were you with the consummation?
16.
And celebration?
Was when I was 18.
The very fact, you've heard it a million times, you were 16 years of age, and you were indeed making love with a man 3 times your age. Did that bother you?
Mm-mm. Yeah, I've never known anything else, so it's my life. He's kind of hard to live with. He's an older man. He isn't into romance and fun things that younger men might be into. But it's not much of a problem.
But seriously, what would a 9-year-old girl know about wanting a husband, falling in love?
I don't know. It's always puzzled me why I did it. Because I look at other girls that age and I say, if she said that, her father should slap her and tell her she's talking nonsense, wait till she grows up.
It is easy to dismiss Mayor Alec Joseph as the kinky leader of a commune, a slick old reprobate who thinks 9 is better than 1. The truth is, he is not kinky. It's not a commune. He is not a reprobate. Slick? Well, maybe. The people out there in the, quote, square world, unquote, probably think of you as some kind of super stud.
God, I hope so. What I am is, if there's anything super about what goes on around here, is I'm a super dental bill payer, you know. I mean, if you want to know what's extraordinary about this is meeting the responsibility to that many people. And stud, I'm not, you know.
Despite what Alec Joseph says from his compound here, polygamy is far from paradise. If he is 9 times blessed, then some say he's 9 times cursed. His wives will tell you that their marriages to him are very middle class, very ordinary. And that means lots of love, lots of spats, and lots of nagging.
He hates that when we gang up on him. We know how to work the routine a little bit. Somebody will take the lead and be the bad guy, and somebody else can kind of make him feel like his point's well taken, but be giving it to him at the same time, you know.
Elizabeth Joseph married Alec 14 years ago. She is a brilliant lawyer, editor of the local newspaper, and far from being a love slave, like the other women, she is independent, professional, and has a hard grasp on reality. Not to mention a hard grasp on Alec Joseph.
I'm the kind of person who wanted a challenging career. The law is a challenging career. So why would I not want a challenging marriage? I'm a person who likes challenges.
Elizabeth is the rule and not the exception in a gaggle of wives who follow careers. There is Boudica Joseph. She is in real estate, and she wrote $850,000 in business last year. She keeps her own bank account. There is Joanna Joseph. She just gave birth while working as one of Utah's most accomplished graphic designers.
Boudica and I have been friends since we were 12 years old, and Elizabeth became our acquaintance in high school in speech competitions. And then in college, we shared a house with 3 other girls. There were 6 of us. When I married Alex, they thought I had perhaps fallen off the deep end, but within the year, they were both married to him.
Alec Joseph is not a left-wing radical. He's not even a liberal. If anything, this man with 9 wives is an old-fashioned, acquisitive, capitalistic conservative.
I'm a lot happier that George Bush won than Michael Dukakis. I'm very liberal in my personal freedom attitudes and very conservative in economics.
He is the mayor of 400 people in a community that only has one other polygamist. He wants to make the town work, carry out law and order, make a buck like any good conservative, and marry a few more ladies. How does he do it? Not the town, the wives.
How do you choose which wife to go to bed with when?
I don't. And that's easy. So it does. I don't cringe at all. I make a woman a master of her own body. And when she wants the use of mine, she makes an appointment. She dictates that. If 2 women get into that, you know, a conflict of time there, they work it out. When I go to bed tonight, there's a girl in my bed. She has an appointment to be there.
But you just can't have a lawyer, a real estate agent, and a calligrapher to run a town. You have to have a fire chief. So Alec's wife, Pam, well, what else? And you have to have a local store. Wife number 1, Diane. She married Alec 18 years ago. She feeds the local needs. Mayor Alec Joseph's 19 children are pretty and handsome, and to the child, extremely well behaved. Save that they have 9 mothers, they are middle class. 26-year-old Lindy is the mother of one of the other children on the way. She is Elizabeth's legal secretary and a typesetter.
Well, did you want to be a part of it, or were you genuinely attracted to Alec?
No, I wasn't attracted to him. Not at all.
You married the man, you made love to him, but you didn't love him.
I was attracted to his family. I just saw his family and saw what he was doing and saw how nice his family was. And there's just, I have never seen such nice relationship within one family, and I wanted to be part of it.
In fact, Lindy is full of surprises. After giving Alec Joseph 2 children, she is about to give him a 3rd, but it won't be hers. She will give it to her mentor, Elizabeth, to raise as her own. She is the surrogate mother.
Now, you're expecting your 3rd child?
Yes, I am. But it's not mine. I'm expecting Elizabeth's 1st child.
We live in the same household. She has children who will be my child's brother and sister. I want Lindy to have a role in the child's upbringing because Lindy's a wonderful person. But it will be my responsibility. I'll be mom.
It should be said that Mayor Alec Joseph does not proselytize the cause of polygamy.
I would like my boys and my girls to have the freedom to pursue their own aptitudes, their own interests. And I say that, you know, about marriage and professions, occupations, vocations, whatever.
In fact, rather than debate you on polygamy, he would much prefer to preach his theories on Egyptology. And please, don't call him a master of love slaves.
Men are sweet, sweet creatures. Women are dark and light. They have a light side and a dark side. Men are all light. they're guileless, they're vulnerable. They need to be protected.
Mayor Alec Joseph of Big Water, Utah. Master of all he surveys, or slave of all he masters. Living out the ultimate male fantasy? 9 times blessed, or 9 times cursed?
This is a lifestyle invented by women, I'm quite confident, who way long ago captured some poor man and made him do this.
Well, it appears that Mayor Alec Joseph will be blessed and cursed again. At last hearing, Alec Joseph is about to wed for the 10th time. Like others, she is young, beautiful, and ambitious. Congratulations, Alec. Did I say congratulations?
Life after death. Millions say they've passed beyond and come back to talk about it.
I'm considered off the wall by my children. They'd like a normal mother. Like my son asked me, he said, do you ever think about anything besides that experience? And I had to say no.
If this is death, it's just as natural as birth.
The Reporters is brought to you by Listermint. Listermint with fluoride freshens breath and strengthens teeth. Listermint, making your mouth a cleaner place.
Heck of a hot tub. Huh? Heather?
You need the Listermint.
How's it looking there?
Like the Dead Sea.
You're in hot water, pal. You should have used Listermint.
Listermint? That's right, Piranha Breath.
Listermint has long-lasting breath protection, plus fluoride to strengthen teeth.
Thanks, guys.
Do I have time for a dip? Listermint, making your mouth a cleaner place.
Introducing the new Sidekick from Suzuki. Available with everything you want in a rugged four-wheel drive. Like cruise control, a cushy ride, power windows, power steering, yeah. Plus automatic transmission, fuel-injected 1.6-liter engine. The new Sidekick. A jewel on the road, a diamond in the rough, yeah. Expensive? Nah. And now you can even get $1,000 cash back on selected new Sidekicks.
Okay, you're the filly and you're the butter.
Right.
Half the calories of butter or margarine.
Okay, who has the filly?
Right here.
Right here.
Right. Next time, butter your bread with Philly instead.
Can one shampoo and conditioner give more body? When women with fine hair compared Germac NutriBody to the regular brand, they preferred it by more than 2 to 1 for body and fullness.
Germac NutriBody for salon results at home.
They're slashing prices.
They're talking deal.
A double cheeseburger's 99 cents. Who's doing it?
We do it. 2 Burger King flame broiled patties, a quarter-pound of beef.
With melted cheese for only 99 cents.
At Burger King.
Sunday on Married with Children. You see something?
My reflection.
How far will the guys go for a full head of hair?
You're not supposed to drink it. It goes on your head.
Is there hope for the hairless?
I'm Lance, and I'm bald.
No kidding.
The outrageous show that's got everyone talking. Married with Children, Sunday on Fox.
At one time or another, all of us have no doubt thought about life after death. Does it exist? And where do we go once we die? There are millions of people in this country who say they know where we go because they've crossed over to the other side. I recently met some of these people who say they've been beyond and back.
It was like I was being yanked out of the universe so fast. It was like all the stars and everything were just rushing by me. It looked like a tunnel.
I left my body, but I could see it. And I looked down and watched the doctors. They were working with it.
All of a sudden, I find myself in this very soft darkness, complete, total darkness.
All of these people are describing what it was like for them to grip the edge of death, peer into its inner depths, and come back to live new and drastically different lives.
In other words, when you've had the near-death experience.
They are part of a select and growing group of people who say they've had a near-death experience. They are people like Ron Thompson, who on a sunny day back in 1980 was speeding down a country road in the hills of Northern California when suddenly his Volkswagen swerved and rolled over several times.
I was told that I was thrown out of the car. I was found on the pavement, right up here.
Smashed your head over here.
Yeah.
Ron was hospitalized with severe head injuries, and while he was in the hospital, he says something happened to him that he couldn't explain, that was beyond comprehension.
I found myself in a black, velvety vastness, an infinite vastness. And it was peaceful and comforting. I saw a pin dot of light that was off in the eternity of this darkness, and I headed towards that at incomprehensible speed. Everything had like a white hue around it. And there were these three figures walking down towards me, and I recognized one of them as my grandfather.
And towards the end of this experience, Ron told me he also found himself outside of his body.
I found myself in the corner of the hospital room, looking down, and it was like, wow, that's me. And there was like this sense of detachment and this sense of, it was a tranquil peace, and it's okay, and then nothing.
Today, Ron calls his journey into this other realm a near-death experience, and he told me he's no longer the person he was before the accident.
10 years ago, if you had invited me to your house, Jim, I would have found my way to your medicine cabinet during the evening. And if there were any pills in there, I would have taken a sample of them. After the accident and the experience, I quit drugs, cigarettes, and alcohol, went back to school, and those changes, my wife left me and started a new path.
Ron is not alone in his encounter with death. Donna Hall also found herself walking down a very different path after a near-death experience. Today, Donna lives a simple life in a quaint cottage near San Francisco, but back in May 1975, her life was not so tranquil.
I had had a divorce some years before. I had two teenage sons who were considerable problems, particularly the older one. I had large economic problems, and my health began going down. It seemed like nothing was going right in my life.
Donna told me she began drinking to escape her life and almost killed herself.
I woke one morning and I had been extremely ill. I began vomiting blood. I called to my son, but finally he came into my room and I said something about call the ambulance. So the ambulance came and I was put in it, and I was just lying there and letting them take care of me, and I guess that was what I wanted as much as anything.
Donna's life was slipping away. She was hemorrhaging throughout her body. The doctors didn't think she would make it, and Donna wasn't sure she wanted to. And she told me she just started letting go.
Total darkness. That was what it was like. And I began seeing a point, just a small point of light. As I got closer and closer, I could see these kind of cloud-like forms, shapes around it. I could sense my sister there, in a way. She had died 3 years before, and then I came on back through with everything in reverse.
At the time, Donna didn't call what happened to her a near-death experience, but she knew her life was somehow very different. Perhaps the most visible change was in her artwork. Donna had been painting for years, mostly Japanese brushwork, but after her illness, Donna's painting changed radically.
For years, I kept painting this shape over and over and over again. It was this shape, this swirling shape, yeah, over and over again. I did it for years and years. Every time I sat down, I would do the same shape over and again, and I didn't know what it was.
And then one day, while watching a movie called Resurrection on her VCR, Donna says she found out what she was painting and what had changed her life 9 years before.
When I saw the movie, I re-experienced my own experience. And I cried and cried and cried because I didn't know what I was doing all those years. I didn't know what I was painting. I didn't know what it was until I saw it. And so I stopped the frame and I matched this up to the movie, and it's almost identical.
Donna's vision also was almost identical to the near-death experiences of millions of other people. In fact, a nationwide Gallup poll taken in 1982 revealed some startling numbers. 8 million Americans say they've had a near-death experience. Most people describe a brilliant light, a journey through a black tunnel, visits with dead relatives, out-of-body experiences, and a peaceful, tranquil feeling of well-being they've never known before. They also talk about losing all fear of dying, a new desire to live life to its fullest. But many who've had a near-death experience are traumatized by what's happened to them, and they've sought support in kind of an exclusive club, a club with members who've seen the face of death.
This is the time you want to share your experience.
Shirley Nakano heads up a San Francisco Bay Area chapter of IANS, the International Association for Near-Death Studies.
The real world goes far beyond the physical, as we have understood it.
There are now about 20 support groups around the country. Donna and Ron belong to the Bay Area IANS chapter. Twice a month, the members get together to help each other adjust to life after their near-death experiences.
I talked to my family immediately, and I was...
Diana Schmidt had an epileptic seizure and almost died.
I'm considered off the wall by my children. They'd like a normal mother. They're never going to get it, but they can want all they want to. Like my son asked me, he said, "Do you ever think about anything besides that experience?" And I had to say no.
Now, many of you may be asking, is this for real? Serious scientific research is soon to be conducted at the International Association for Near-Death Studies at the University of Connecticut. Researchers will evaluate brain patterns, energy levels, biological and neurological changes. Dr. Bruce Grayson has studied near-death phenomena for years.
We hope to set up a neurophysiological lab that can monitor how people do function, both in terms of their bodily function and in terms of their brain functioning. So we can measure whether they are, in fact, different from people who haven't had near-death experiences.
But some scientists doubt the claims of those who say they've had a near-death experience.
The difference between what I think and what many of my colleagues think is that this experience is an intrapsychic experience, the same way that a dream is an intrapsychic experience.
These visions, these near-death experiences, do not fade over time the way hallucinations do. A more important distinction is that these have profound, long-lasting effects. They drastically change your life in a way that a hallucination or a dream just doesn't do.
I don't know what really the research they're going to do that would prove that something in that person actually left his body.
While the scientific community is in disagreement over the near-death phenomenon, the medical community is beginning to take it seriously. Marta Johnson, a nurse for 10 years, has taken care of many intensive care patients. Marta told me nurses and doctors can often tell when a patient lapses into an altered state.
You can tell by the way the body feels, the responsiveness. Sometimes on the monitor, the heart monitor, the wavelength of the heartbeat will be gone and then suddenly come back.
With today's advanced technology, more people are surviving life-threatening situations and later talking about near-death experiences. Marta says the medical community is listening very carefully.
There is a great deal of curiosity and interest. For example, the latest issue of a national nursing magazine has an article featuring near-death experiences. I think that we are beginning to say that this is a very valid experience of our patients.
For the people who've had a near-death experience, they know that it's real, just as watching your television right now is real for you.
I realized that if this is death, it's just as natural as birth. It's part of the life experience. And I'm going on. And then I was all gung-ho to go. And there I was. And I kept saying, oh, let's get this show on the road. I want to go.
If what these people are saying is true, then perhaps we've begun to uncover life's greatest unsolved mystery, man's eternal question. Is there a life beyond the one we know? Millions of people are convinced without a shadow of a doubt that there is, and they welcome the chance to be there when their time comes once again.
His career and his life were KO'd, but boxer Joey Torres is back on his feet, saving lives and helping kids from behind bars.
If people want to talk about saying no to drugs, this is it. You know, I'm living. I'm not Len Baez, Don Rogers. I'm not dead. I'm still alive.
There's a cold wind blowing downtown tonight. Though you left me hanging tough, I got to keep my courage up. Nobody gonna see what I'm going through. I'm gonna look good in blue. 501.
Bye, Mom. Don't be a stranger. She's gonna shine the floor with bright. Oh, well, guess I'll watch the soap so it dries.
Surprise, baby. That's Fast Dry Bright. You'll be back on your no-wax floor before you know it.
What's this? But it's too soon. Ooh, pretty. That's me. Look how shiny. And already dry. Wish I was.
Turn on a bright shine with Fast Dry Bright.
In a recent test, Aquacare beat Kerry lotion hands down. So don't be surprised to find Kerry elbow decide, given the cold shoulder. Because when it comes to smoother skin, Aquacare has a leg up on Kerry.
Of all the leading mouthwashes, only Colgate helps stop ugly tartar before it starts. Colgate, the minty fresh way to a cleaner mouth. Colgate Tartar Control mouthwash. Keep your mouth tartar control clean.
Hey, Professor, I thought only students fell asleep in your class. Just trying to get these finals graded? You ought to revive with Vivarin. Oh, Vivarin? Helps wake you up.
Government-appointed experts confirm Vivarin is effective.
Revive with Vivarin.
It's the only show on television where the future comes alive. Get your first glimpse at the products that could soon revolutionize your life in the 1990s and beyond. People magazine says, what a concept, grade A. So if there's no limit to your curiosity, beyond tomorrow, tonight on Fox.
Introducing the new Sidekick from Suzuki. Available with everything you want in a rugged four-wheel drive. Like cruise control, a cushy ride, power windows, power steering, yeah. Plus automatic transmission. Fuel-injected 1.6-liter engine. The new Sidekick, a jewel on the road, a diamond in the rough. Yeah. Expensive? Nah.
See your Nashville area Suzuki dealer.
Norman Bates is back. For the first time on TV, Psycho 3. If you think Norman's crazy, wait until you meet his mother.
No one must know about her or what she's done.
Anthony Perkins is Norman Bates. Psycho 3.
Tuesday at 8 on WCAY's Prime Movie.
Most young people spend their days dreaming about what they could be, but tonight in Nevada, there's a man who can dream only about what he could have been. His name is Joey Torres, and he's doing a life term for murder. Just 10 years ago, Joey was on top of the world, a promising young welterweight boxer who might have gone on to the Olympics. Now, by his own admission, the champ is a chump. He abused his talent, threw away his opportunity. Joey's story is sad, but it's also far from hopeless. For from behind the concrete walls and barbed wire, Joey Torres has inspired many. Jean, Nevada is 30 miles due south of Las Vegas. There's not much here: a casino, some cows, and incarceration. Jean is the home of the Southern Nevada State Prison. It's also home to inmate 26212, Joey Torres.
If it wasn't for drugs, I'd be the champion of the world right now. I'd have I wouldn't be here, man. My life is up.
New York, 1960. Joey Torres is born into a real-life West Side story. An Italian mother, a Puerto Rican father. When Joey was a baby, they moved to Los Angeles. These were the streets where Joey grew up. As far back as he can remember, fights were a fact of life.
I had a problem in school. My last name was Torres, and I looked like a John Smith. And the Mexican, Latin kids didn't accept me because of my skin, and the white kids didn't accept me because of my name. But they all accepted me when I fought.
At the age of 12, Joey was going on 20, fighting over turf, over pride, over girls. He kept winning. He got cocky. He dropped out of school and joined a gang.
School couldn't hold me, my family couldn't hold me, but the streets, they gave me everything I wanted. There was a gym that was open around the corner from my parents' house. It was a karate studio. The Ukitas Brothers Karate Studio. And there was a well-known family, the Ukitas Brothers. They were the most feared family in the San Fernando, LA area. Benny Ukitas is the world's full-contact karate champion. And I thought I could beat him. So I went in and I challenged him.
And I said, you're going to spar with me, and if I spar with you for 3 rounds, you're going to give me a radio? He said, yeah. So I sparred with him. It only lasted, it was a short time that lasted, but he got up and said, how did I go down? Did I go down with style? And I started laughing. I said, you know, this guy has a lot of heart.
Suddenly, Joey had someone to respect. Benny and his brother Blinky became Joey's trainers and confidants.
They accepted me, and they loved me, and they took me in. And I fought for them. I fought grown men for them.
The Urquidez brothers would throw Joey in the ring against much bigger, older men, trying to knock the cockiness out of him. There was just one problem. No one could beat him. At ringside, Joey's ability caught the eye of a mysterious figure, a man named Jose Ramirez. Carlos Palomino, a former welterweight champion of the world, remembers Ramirez.
He was the kind of guy who hung out in gyms, always looking for someone he could catch on with, you know, as a trainer, you know, and he happened to catch on with Joey, and Big Joey was a wide-eyed, happy-go-lucky kid with a lot of confidence who felt that he could be a world champion. And when somebody says to him, you know, stick with me and I'll make you a world champion, you tend to believe that.
Joey did believe it. Ramirez arranged fights for Joey, started to make him good money. Joey started to pull away from everyone else and draw closer to this ringside Svengali.
Ramirez used me. He pimped me like a whore. That's what he did. He was the pimp and I was the whore.
Joey's belief in Ramirez was so strong that it led him to do something very dumb. Jose Ramirez had some cocaine inside a bottle of nasal spray. Joey was fighting with a painful broken nose, so he tried it.
He said, try this, and I took a couple hits of it. And what was it? Dristan.
When did you become aware that this was coke?
Oh, not for about 2-3 months later. I thought it was me. I thought I had reached my peak of conditioning. I could walk through any punch and not feel it, you know? And I'd laugh. I'd smile and just, you know, stomp my foot and laugh at it. Then it got to the point where I was so cocky that people used to boo me, you know, before I even fight. And I liked that because I figured, well, boo or laugh, you gotta love me, I'm winning.
During the day, Joey would work out, spar, pump iron. At night, he hit the club circuit. After all the other guys had bought the girls drinks, Joey brought out the coke.
And this went on sometimes for like 3, 4, 5 days without sleep, just doing coke. Coke, coke, coke. And it was beautiful. I was 16 years old. I was on top of the world.
If Joey Torres realized what was happening to him, he was still too young to care, until he started losing.
I got knocked out. I fought Frankie Baltazar at the Pico Rivera Sports Center. And I was loaded, I was drunk and high, and I got knocked out. I went home and didn't nobody know me, didn't nobody talk to me.
For the first time in his life, Joey Torres was a beaten man. Stung by the first losses of his career, disowned by his gym, shunned by his friends, numbed by cocaine. On June 18, 1979, Joey Torres went crashing to the mat. Back then, about where I'm standing, there was a gas station owned by Jose Ramirez, the shadowy manager who first introduced Joey to drugs. Jose owed Joey some money. He hadn't paid up. Joey came here to settle the score. He was high.
I went to grab him, and he was behind a desk. He was sitting behind a desk, and he pulled the drawer open. And when he pulled the drawer open, I saw a gun. So we're still arguing, and he went for it. We flew against the back of the wall, and it went, wow. I heard not a gunshot, but like a cat. And I went back, and he fell. And I got scared, and I ran.
There was no solid evidence against Joey Torres, no gun, no witnesses. Even so, a public defender advised Joey to plead guilty to first-degree murder. Joey's current lawyer, who had nothing to do with the deal, describes it.
He was promised that if he entered a plea of guilty to first-degree murder, he would be sent to a youth facility, which could hold him for no more than 6 years. He was 19 at the time. They had the authority to hold him till he was 25.
Joey figured he could use the 6 years to get his life straight. He didn't. He was still a wild, cocky kid, picking fights, doing drugs. Then, just 2 months short of his 22nd birthday, Joey made another stupid mistake. It came, of all places, in a letter to his girlfriend.
I sent a letter to a girl stating I want you to, if possibly, save some money and buy a weapon.
In retrospect, it was pretty stupid.
Yeah.
The youth facility routinely opens inmates' mail. It saw the line about the gun and sent Joey back to court. Without any trial, a judge turned around and sentenced Joey Torres to life in prison.
I thought it was, you know, hey, it's April Fool's, or I was only kidding, or I'm doing a life sentence on a YA plea bargain. It hurts, gets you mad, makes you really mad.
So at the age of 19, Joey Torres went from a youth facility straight to some of the toughest prisons in California: Chino, Folsom, San Quentin. Joey shared a cell block with Charles Manson. And even behind bars, Joey still managed to do cocaine. By this time, the drugs and boxing had so pummeled Joey's brain that he was sent to Vacaville, a prison for mental patients. It was the darkest, most hopeless moment of his life. But it was also the start of his comeback. Richard Barajas is a prison guard for the state of California, decorated by Governor Duke Machen for heroism. Barajas worked Joey's cell block. One night in 1982, Barajas was training a new female guard.
I called Joey over to the side and I told him, hey, do me a favor, keep an eye on her. You know, this guy's bothering her. He told me he would. So later on that evening, we heard an alarm.
I heard a woman scream, and I ran out of my cell, and I went to the office. And there was maybe 15, 20 guys standing around, and I egged my way through. And there was one guy pounding her in the face.
And then she started screaming. Joey came running out, grabbed him, and started wailing on him.
He was so medicated on Thorazine, they had him on medication, that I had to pick up the phone and start beating him with the phone.
So what kind of risk was Joey taking by doing this?
Retaliation by other inmates.
He saved her life.
Yeah, he saved her life. You know, in all respects, Joe was a hero. You know, if somebody did that for me, I would consider him a hero.
Richard Barajas wrote a letter to the prison director commending Joey for a heroic deed. His rescue of a prison guard violated an unwritten rule of the cell block: never help your captors. Joey was in danger from the other inmates, so the prison system moved him out.
I could go anywhere I want to go in the United States. Anywhere you want to go, just don't make a big deal about it. So I picked Nevada.
4 years went by, and the passage of that time matured Joey Torres. With the same gut determination he used to bust heads in the ring, Joey kicked the drug habit. Carlos Palomino, the former world welterweight champion, visited Joey in prison and became his closest friend.
I think that I was just an inspiration to him. He saw what a guy was doing. He saw that a guy was, through hard work, was making things happen, you know, the right way and having success and sharing that with other people.
I said, wait a minute, you know, if people want to talk about saying no to drugs, this is it. You know, I'm living. I'm not Len Baez, Don Rogers. I'm not dead. I'm still alive. Why look at Nancy Reagan on TV say no to drugs? Like she's done them? You know, like she really knows? Kids laugh at that, but I don't think kids will laugh at Joey.
The lives of young people became a priority for Joey. His family would tell him of kids back home who were in trouble. Joey would ask to talk to them. Take Abel Sandoval, age 17, a former gang member.
I was just going nowhere and ditching school, being, you know, drinking beer, thinking I was cool and all that.
But Abel renounced that lifestyle after one visit in prison with Joey Torres.
He told me one time when I went to visit him, he goes, because you young kids that come in here are no match for a 30-year-old that's been here already for 10, 15 years. And we, you know, the older guys take advantage of the younger guys. So, you know, I got scared.
Where do you think you'd be today if not for Joey?
Probably end up in juvenile hall, like him, being locked up.
16-year-old Stacy Nadal kicked her drug and alcohol habit. Over the phone and in lengthy letters, Joey Torres helped her do it.
Seeing a man in prison, you know, and seeing someone that has gone through the same things I've gone through, it could be, you know, I could just see where I could be at right now, you know, where I could...
If you'd done the wrong thing, you...
Right.
After 10 years behind bars, Joey now spends his time coaching other inmates and organizing prison boxing matches.
There you go, baby! Work the jab! There you go! To the body!
Joey is what could have been. Joey's what any kid could do. Any kid could be in prison. Any kid could be a loser.
You don't understand. I could have had class. I could have been a contender. I could have been somebody. Instead of a bum, which is what I am. Let's face it.
Remember me, okay? Because God knows I ain't going nowhere. Just remember me.
It'd be anyone's dream if somebody's in show business and they get to star on a show on Broadway. Yeah, that's a dream of everybody in show business, I think.
Altogether unmemorable.
But my heart's not really in it. Why? Because I was made for champagne.
High today expected to reach 105 degrees with no relief in sight.
Last year, almost 2 million people stopped buying regular Pepsi, and the major soft drink they moved to more than any other was Diet Coke. With smooth, satisfying, real cola taste and just 1 calorie. One for the road. You can keep coming back for more, no matter who you are.
Just for the taste of it.
The move is on to Diet Coke.
Diet Coke.
I won't wear anything without Cross Your Heart, because Cross Your Heart has crisscross shaping. So I always look better, whatever I wear.
Playtex Cross Your Heart Bra.
Don't wear anything without Cross Your Heart.
From Playtex.
The fit that makes the fashion.
Come, enter the halls of medicine. Bring your sore throat, your cough, your nose when it feels stuffy. Because these are Hall's Menthol Lifters Cough Suppressant Tablets with vapor action. Come to the halls of medicine to feel better fast.
Everyone may have their own individual taste, but Certs is the taste everyone can agree on. Because...
Fresh breath speaks for it.
Certs and sugar-free Certs with Retsin.
When the sweetest pets become little stinkers, try Arm & Hammer's new Pet Fresh Carpet Deodorizer. It goes deep down to freshen up, even between vacuumings. Arm & Hammer's new Pet Fresh. Works till the cows come home. Oh, Pet Fresh.
Great food. It's for the party. And a fresh box of Arm & Hammer baking soda keeps everything fresh. And the calendar reminds us to change every 3 months. Isn't it time for a fresh box?
Hi. Is this your sign? It is now. You look wonderful. Did you stop eating? No, I stopped cheating. Accutrim helped.
Accutrim helps control your appetite all day, including the cheating hours, 3 p.m. till bedtime. Accutrim helps you beat the cheating hours.
Sunday, a citywide strike pits cop against cop. A battle turning partners into enemies.
It's over! Who says it's over?
A war tearing Jump Street apart. Richard Grieco in an all-new 21 Jump Street, the most intense place on television.
Well, home so soon, so what did you decide on?
I bought a Mercury.
You did?
A Mercury Topaz.
Weren't you looking at a...
Pontiac Grand Am?
Yeah.
I was, but when I compared all the stuff I wanted, I got the Topaz GS for over $1,000 less.
Wow. Hey, what's the GS mean?
Right now, Dad, it means going shopping.
Going shopping. That's my girl.
Mercury Topaz, a value that's well worth looking into. Only at your Lincoln Mercury dealer.
It's easy to think one person can't make a difference, but 200 million people can. If every one of us volunteered just 5 hours a week to the causes we care about, if we all donated just 5% of what we earn, there'd be almost no limit to what we can do. Just 5 hours, just 5%. When you think about it, it's not that much to give. And what we could get back is immeasurable.
This week, a variation on our Byline segment, a backstage look at how a big-name performer reacts when the critics threaten to destroy his Broadway dream.
I'm going to big time, Bright Lights Broadway. I'm going to star in my own show.
Peter Allen has gone to the Broadway big time, and when his musical Legs Diamond opened, he reached the Broadway dream.
It'd be anyone's dream if somebody's in show business and they get to star on a show on Broadway. Yeah, that's a dream of everybody in show business, I think.
And Peter Allen doesn't just star in Legs Diamond. He wrote the music and lyrics as well. Legs is the story of the 20s gangster in the nightclub malls, Runyonesque plungers, and tin horn cops who people Allen's song and dance fantasy.
I wanted pretty girls, I wanted funny guys, I wanted a lot of dancing, and I wanted a lot of singing, and not too serious a book.
But my heart's not really in it. Why? 'Cause I was made for champagne.
$10 million worth of tickets were sold before the reviews, and Legs Diamond collectively crossed its fingers. But the Broadway dreams of stars and spear carriers are all subject to the critics. After an opening night of parties and paparazzi, the reviews came out, and it was murder by word processor.
I guess the fairest phrase from my review is altogether unmemorable.
Legs is amateur night, a dreadful, witless mess.
Peter Allen doesn't read reviews, but he's still got the word.
I heard venomous, vitriolic, vendetta, anything that had a V in it, they said, I think. Even if you hated everything, you have to say, well, at least the sets and the costumes. They hated them. They hated the girls. They hated they just... You'd think in the day and age when musicals are so expensive, so hard to come by, that they'd actually, maybe give you a benefit of the doubt to think, well, look, we didn't like it, but maybe you might. You know, it's just weird to kill off a big, expensive American musical.
I loved it. It was marvelous. It was great. You came out singing and dancing.
I thought the staging was excellent, and I enjoyed Peter Allen immensely.
I don't think much of critics anyway to begin with. I have to see for myself whether I like the show or not.
The week after the reviews came out on December 27th, everyone wanted to see for themselves, and the only dream was to get a ticket. The producer sold a box office record of $455,000 worth of tickets that week. And even now, with the traditional January slowdown, the producers are still breaking even.
We went to this underdog situation, so now people are coming to see us. What the great thing is, it just makes you realize how tough you really are. I'm a pretty tough bastard to come through this. I realized this, and I didn't know that.
And so I'll sing and I'll dance.
In the second act, the song and dance man Legs comes back to life after an attempt on his life. Peter Allen ad-libbed a line that now seems tailor-made for the show.
The minute I changed the line from only a critic can kill me to not even the critic can kill me, For the first couple of days after that, we got standing ovations on the line. The audience just wouldn't stop applauding. They stood up, and I thought, well, God knows they agree with us instead of them.
Legs Diamond thumbing his nose at the critics. And next week, a very special story. An American woman falls in love with a handsome Englishman. They marry, have 3 children. Now, he's becoming a woman through sex surgery, and she's wondering who'll be the man around the house.
If God would grant me a wish, tomorrow I'd wake up and I'd be a girl.
That's just one of the stories next Saturday in The Reporters. Good night.
Okay, you're the filly and you're the butter.
Right.
Half the calories of butter or margarine.
Okay, who has the filly?
Right here.
Right here.
Right.
Next time, butter your bread with Philly instead.
We both have colds. Why is he bouncing around like it's a great morning anyway? Well, I'm so tired and cranky and headachy, I can't even get started.
Why? Because last night when he said, let's take NyQuil so we can have a good morning, I said, why?
What's the nighttime sniffling, sneezing, coughing, achy, stuffy head fever so you can rest medicine got to do with morning, silly?
He took it. I took these.
Why?
NyQuil. It's also the bright-eyed, bushy-tailed, fully rested, so take it at night and have a good morning medicine.
Tone up your body with exercise. Tone up your skin with Tone.
I'm toning up from my head to my toes. I'm toning up, now my skin's gonna glow. I'm toning up, looking good. I'm toning up.
Tone, the skincare bar with cocoa butter. It cleans, moisturizes, and conditions for healthy-looking skin.
I'm toning up, now my skin's gonna glow.
Tone up with Tone, now in cream color.
Year after year, more dentists recommend Crest than any other toothpaste.
Show 'em your best. Ooh, yeah. Show 'em your Crest. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Show 'em your Crest.
Why brush with anything else?
Come on in to Sunrinse Fresh, like hanging your wash in the sunshine.
Come on in to Sunrinse Fresh. Light and sunny, downy feeling.
April Fresh and Light Sunrinse Fresh.
Come on into the sunshine.
Sunday, Robert Hugh. Police believe he was the leader of a New York gang that terrorized Chinatown shopkeepers and lured teenagers into a violent life of crime. Suspected of involvement in 13 murders, Hugh has been seen in Georgia and Florida and may have 2 rose tattoos on his chest. Watch America's Most Wanted, Sunday.
This is Allison LaPlaca. I play Linda on Duet.
I know that, Allison.
I know you know that, Jody. I was telling the Fox viewers.
Oh, you mean we're on? Hi, I'm Jody Teal, and I play Jane on Duet.
We'll be your host this weekend for all the Fox shows.
Like Duet.
And 21 Jump Street.
Which is a lot like Duet, except it's longer, it's not a comedy, and it's about cops.
Right. Stay tuned for Beyond Tomorrow.
Next.